Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today, we're going to be doing What If I Was Transported to Pokemon, Part 3. Now, without further ado, let's begin. So we pick up where we left off last time, where Ash had just caught his Caterpie. Knowing it's not that strong right now, I decide to take Caterpie and train it for a little bit. But before I do, I give Ash a TM that contains Iron Tail. Luckily, the gods have given me a lot of money, and when I mean a lot of money, I mean so much money. I am secretly very rich, so I can buy as many TMs as I need. I give it to Ash, and Ash begins to use it to teach Pikachu. As I use my Rattata to train with Caterpie. And then, Pidgeotto comes out of nowhere. And knowing that this was one of Ash's canon Pokemon, I tell Ash to go on and catch it, since I already have a Pidgey. Ash nods to this and tries to use Caterpie, but I snap Ash back to reality, telling Ash he can't use his Caterpie since it's part bug type, and it's weak against flying types. You need an electric type to fight Pidgeotto. Ash understanding this, saying, "Okay, Pikachu, let's do this," but Pikachu decides to doze off, not wanting the battle. I'm annoyed at this and tell Rattata to use Bite on Pikachu, which gets Pikachu kind of angry, but I bonk it in the head and tell Pikachu, "Look, Pikachu, I know you don't want to battle because you think you're the strongest in here, but it won't be that for long. Consider this training because you can't always just doze off and rely on your power right now. There are always going to be Pokemon stronger than you, but they won't be stronger than you if you train. So, if you can battle this Pidgeotto, that'd be good." Pikachu comes to an understanding with this and decides to battle with Ash, with Pidgeotto seeing this and decides to use a quick attack, but Pikachu dodges this and uses a Thunder Shock on Pidgeotto, which paralyzes it, leaves it vulnerable for Ash to throw a Pokeball at it. After shaking 3 times, Ash has got the Pidgeotto. But then, Team Rocket comes out of nowhere. And we send out our Pokemon. I send out my newly caught Fearow, and Ash sends out his Caterpie. Ash is impressed with the Fearow, asking where I got it from. And I tell him how I got it. Anyways, I know this Fearow isn't gonna listen to me, so I just tell it to use Wing Attack, expecting it to not listen to me. But I'm surprised to see that it actually does listen to me. As soon as I learn that Fearow isn't like anyone else. It does what it's told, kind of like me. And so we begin to battle with Fearow attacking Coughing and Caterpie attacking Ekans. As then they would switch up with Caterpie switching with Fearow and Fearow switching with Caterpie. As then Fearow would use a Drill Peck and Caterpie would use String Shot to wrap him up. As then they both combine attacks by Caterpie using Tackle and Fearow using Aerial Ace to finish off the Pokemon. Team Rocket has no choice but to retreat. And then everyone congratulates Caterpie and Fearow on their victory. As then Caterpie will begin to glow, evolving into Metapod. Ash congratulates Metapod on his evolution. As in, knowing that Metapod won't be that useful for right now, I tell Ash, it'd be wise to train Metapod to get it to evolve again. So if we could train it to its final form, it'd be better. Ash agrees to this and says, okay, but only until we can stay here only until Metapod evolves again. As in, Metapod evolves again after training, finally evolving into Butterfree. As in, after that, I teach Ash how to fish, because I tell him that we're also gonna need a water type. But then, the samurai comes out of nowhere and declares a battle with me and Ash. I tell the samurai that Ash is busy, but I'll battle. As then he sends out his pincer, I send out my Charmander. As then the battle goes on, but it's very clear that Charmander has the advantage. As then pincer goes down with Charmander alerting Fire Fang, and Samurai has lost and tells me, "Wow, you are one strong trainer. I guess Palatone's trainers really are prodigies." As then Ash would begin to feel like there was something on the rod. As then I go to help Ash, seeing as it's a strong bite. As then out of the water comes a Poliwag. I didn't know that this river had Poliwags, but after all, anything is possible in this Pokemon world. As then I tell Ash to try to catch it, as he uses his Butterfree to use sleep powder on it, and it falls asleep, with Ash throwing the Pokeball on the vulnerable at the sleeping Poliwag, catching it. That was not one of Ash's canon Pokemon, but okay. As then Ash would have a battle with Samurai, but it wouldn't go too well. As then I offered to train Samurai's Metapod to evolve. I'm messing up. Samurai would agree to this, and we begin to train. Metapod would finally evolve into Butterfree. Samurai thanks us for training with him, as then we would leave to Pewter City, where, like in canon, we meet the disguised Flint. As we go to the gym to battle Brock. Still, Ash, being dumb, uses his Pikachu and losing the battle. Onyx barely put any effort, as then Ash has to go to the Pokemon Center. As then I decide to stay back and try to battle. As then I tell Charmander to use its new move, Metal Claw. But Onyx uses Tackle. As then the battle would go on with Onyx using Dig to hit Charmander, but Charmander isn't going to give up. It uses a flamethrower to temporarily blind Onyx, as then it uses Metal Claws everywhere. It finishes it off with a final Metal Claw, knocking it out. Brock will be impressed by this, going on to tell me that even though he used another Pokemon with a type disadvantage just like Ash, he was able to beat Onyx by playing it smart with super effective moves. So he presents me with the Boulder Badge, and I finally got my first gym badge since going on my journey. I decided to go back to see Ash's progress, and like in canon, he's supercharging Pikachu. Then we go back to the battle. But before we get into that, I want to remind you all that even though Pikachu knew Iron Tail, The Iron Tail was not perfected, so now the Iron Tail is perfected. Brock sends out his Geodude, and Ash decides to use his newly caught Poliwag. Brock then says, "Wow, playing it smart and using a water type, eh?" As then Ash would say, "Yes, but I don't expect to win right off the bat." As then Geodude would try to use a tackle, but is blinded by Poliwag using a Bubble Beam. As then it jumps behind it, and Geodude tries to attack, but is hit with a water gun. Poliwag is hit, but not before jumping over the Geodude using Mud Shot. And they decide to finish this with Poliwag using a Pound, knocking the Geodude out. As then Onix comes out, but Poliwag is starting to show signs of fatigue, as they have to wrap this battle up now. Poliwag uses the Water Gun on Onix for some super effective damage and uses a Pound, but Onix uses Tackle and Dig. As then Poliwag is almost about to be defeated, but he uses another Pound and then uses a Mud Shot before getting hit by Onix's tail being knocked out. Now Onix is on the back foot because he took some damage from Poliwag and one of his eyes is covered in mud. Pikachu is lastly sent out, as then he uses his newly learned move, Iron Tail, to have a chance against Onix. The battle goes easier than in canon, as in Pikachu would also use his supercharged Thunderbolt to activate the sprinklers, damaging Onix. As in Brock's siblings would try to stop this, but Brock sends him away. As then it's already too late, and Onix is knocked out. As then Brock presents Ash with the Boulder Badge. As then Brock tells Ash of his dreams. And then his father comes back to take care of his children. As then me and Misty come there to unite with everyone else. As then we head off to the next city. And like in canon with the Clefairy episode, we meet Seymour, or whatever his name was, and we see the Clefairy. But I decide, as I see the statue, I decide to catch it. And so I have another Pokemon statue. This would be good against my battle with Lieutenant Surge. So, we go along with Team Rocket attacking, Ash using his Butterfree, and Brock using his Zubat, as me, Seymour, and Misty would go, and, nothing really that much changes, other than the fact of me catching a Sandshrew. So, we go on to the Cerulean Gym. As then Misty is still gone from now, then the sisters I just say that they're not interested in battling since the last two trainers beat them with ease as they try to hand over the badge, but Misty interrupts, declaring a battle. As in, I would go first, seeing as Ash had already gone to battle first. Then Misty would send out her Staryu, I would send out my Rattata, and Staryu tries to use a Rapid Spin, but Rattata dodges this and uses a Bite. It is sent back by a Rapid Spin, but Staryu uses the Water Gun to follow it up. Rattata uses another Quick Attack and Bite combo, as then it learns Super Fang to put down Staryu. As then Starmie would come out. Rattata tried to use Quick Attack, but it's dodged by Starmie getting into the water. Then Starmie will use a bubble beam, which would damage him. Tata will try to use another super thing, which connects, but not as much damage. But it is put down with the rapid spin. Then I send out my Pidgey. Although Ash's Pidgeotto was able to beat Starmie, but I don't have a Pidgeotto. I have a Pidgey. And then Starmie tries to finish this with rapid spin, but I tell Pidgey to dodge out of the way and use a wing attack. Starmie uses a water gun upwards, which hits Pidgey. As then it goes into the water to hit Pidgey with a rapid spin, but it uses quick attack to dodge out of the way and hit Starmie. As then it sends it back with water gun and hits him with bubble beam. Pidgey, not wanting to lose, soon begins to glow and evolves into Pidgeotto. As then it's strong enough and uses a wing attack to hit Starmie. It tries to use water gun, but Pidgeotto is dodging each and every single one of them. It tries to use bubble beam, but also dodges. As then Pidgey would use a quick attack to knock out Starmie. As then I beat Misty and she hands over the Cascade badge. And that's 2 badges for me. As then the next day, Ash will begin the battle. But this time, he tries to do the same thing I did with using his Pidgeotto. With Starmie using Bubble Beam and Rapid Spin, but Pidgeotto uses some quick attacks and wing attacks or something like that, and takes down Staryu. But then Starmie comes out, and Pidgeotto is starting to show signs of fatigue. Ash tries to do the same thing I did, but even though Pidgeotto does use quick attack, it is dodged and he is hit with a rapid spin and a water gun. And then Pidgeotto flies up and tries to hit Starmie with a quick attack, but is dodged again. He then goes behind him and uses a quick attack. But it's shown that Starmie has the better defense. He uses another quick attack, and Starmie uses a rapid spin and is knocked out. And then Ash uses his Pikachu this time. And then Starmie uses a water gun, but Pikachu dodges out of the way, retorting with a Thunderbolt. Then Starmie will go underwater trying to attack Pikachu from behind, but Pikachu uses his Iron Tail. Then Pikachu would use Thunderbolt. Starmie would try to use a Bubble Beam, but all the bubbles are popped and is hit with the Thunderbolt. It goes underwater, but it made a mistake, as Pikachu uses the very big thunder into the water. As when it rises, it tries to use another rapid spin, but Pikachu, with the momentum of falling down, uses an Iron Tail to knock out the Starmie. Ash then is congratulated and is given the Cascade badge, but before he can get it, Team Rocket attacks, as then everything goes as in canon with Ash saving the seal, and Team Rocket blasting off again, with Ash actually earning the Cascade badge as he pins the badge to his jacket. Or vest or something like that. Oh yeah, but before the episode ends, I want to note that we go on to the next city, but not before revealing that I secretly catched a Pokemon, as it was a Pokemon that was trying to run away from some poachers, but I save it and I catch it. But that's where we're gonna leave it off today. So in the next episode, you will see what kind of Pokemon it is. Anyways, I I am RZ Anime Boy, or whatever you want to call me. And I guess I'll see you later. And comment down below what other what ifs I should do. So see ya.